Good day learners, and welcome to today's video in which we are going to be talking about the rules for rounding off. So before we even start on what rounding off is and how to do it and looking at examples, let's just look at a few fundamental rules for rounding off. So as you can see, these are just a few examples of these rules. As you can see, I've just put a few of these rules down, and if you adhere to these rules, then you'll be fine when it comes to rounding off. So when we look at numbers, and a number is between 0 and 4. So let's say I've got the number 74 over here, and I've got to round that up to the nearest whole number, just as an example. I look at my units. Now, if it's between 0 and 4, what is it saying? It needs to stay the same. So if I'm asked to round it up to the nearest whole number, well, then that will remain the same. However, if that number is 75, what happens now with my next rule? If that number is between 5 and 9, it has to go up. So this will get rounded up to 80, right? That's up to the nearest whole number. What you can then see from that example is that the focus is on the number one place before our rounding unit. So when we look at the number 107 as an example, and we say we need to round that up to the nearest 10, okay? We need to then look at the 7 and go back to our rule. Is it between 0 and 4? Meaning that it's going to stay the same. No, it's not. Is the number between 5 and 9? Yes, it is. What then needs to happen in terms of our rules? The number has to go up. And therefore, 107 goes up to 110. So, in the same example, I want you just to bear something in mind. Remember, we said the focus is on the number one place before our rounding unit. This is just going up to the nearest 10. In this example, we only look at the number in the units column. So if we then say, well, look, we're looking at a number to the nearest 100, we then look at the tens column. If we're looking at a number to the nearest 1,000, we look at the hundreds column, and so on and so forth. So guys, if we just stick to these rules when it comes to rounding off, we'll be fine. Whether we're rounding off to whole numbers, we're rounding up, we're rounding down, or we're even rounding with decimals.